Hi! Today I'm going to explain you how you can find the right plan after every opening. So, I will start from the major point of this video. You need 3 simple questions. The first one: who can help? It's about pieces that you can develop or reroute to the aim. The second one: what lines can I use? It's about a space that you need for attack. And the last one, the third, it sounds like maybe I have a tactic. It's about calculates every time, every move. So now I want to show you how these questions works in real games. Let's start from the Sicilian because it's very common opening. You must know it. Knight f3, knight c6, d4 takes, d6, knight c3, knight f6. It's okay. Bishop c4, it's not very common because usually we try to make a pin or stay our bishop in e2 to prevent knight g4, but it's okay. e6, bishop e3, bishop e7, short castling. What we can do now? Start from the first question. Who can help? Our minor pieces in this position stay in the center and they are very good. They are okay. But our major pieces, like queen and rooks, are not working. And I suggest free up the way for our rook in the corner and get rid of the queen. For example, on e2 to protect our bishop. And in the next move, we can have a half-open file by our rook. It's good. Now, black doesn't want to go b5 because their knight is undefended. But after queen c7, they start to threaten. So a4, it's a prevention of this push. Rook d8 plays black, so we have the same question. What we can do now? Remember our first question. What lines can we use? I think in this position is d-file because d-file is half opened and we have a rook here. So let's start for the trade-off to open this file. My next move is bishop f4 to attack this pawn. Bishop b7 plays black, and now I want to return for my first question. Who can help? I think it's rook from f1. So white's plan is double rook d3, and the next move rook in d1. Black moves h6, and now we have the same problems with next plans. So we need a third question. What about tactic? Maybe we can find it here? Yes. Because black has a tactical target, their queen and rook stays in the one diagonal for our bishop, and we want to open it. So e5, of course, e5, and he can't capture us because we have a skewer to queen and rook. So black's king must go away, and after that we have the next strike. So let's calculate. Bishop captures on e6. For what? For discovered attack, of course. After our next move, queen wants to go to e6 with fork. For example, bishop captures, queen captures, and after some trade-offs, white has an extra pawn and beautiful position, so our 3 questions are working. Let's go to the next example. What do you think about 4 knights game? I think personally that it's very boring, but now we must learn how find a right plan. So let's try it. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6. It's very common. Bishop c4, okay. If you know the theory right now, of course you heard that the major move from the black is knight capture e4. Why? Because after the knight e4 you have a fork, d5, and one more trade-off give you more space. By the way, let's continue this variation. Bishop d3, for example, takes, and your pawn on e5 gives you a positional advantage and space advantage, all of advantages, After that, of course, you activate your minor pieces, you do a short castle, maybe you activate your another bishop, okay, and you see that white bishop wants to go to g5 and make a prevention, h6 is good for you, and after that you have a planned problems. Let's solve it. Start from the first question. Who can help? Of course, is major pieces, especially rook from the corner. So, get rid of the queen, and after that, stay our rook for the protect pawn, and another rook to have opened line d. Rook d1 responds fight, and you need another plan. So, the second question's on line. It's about lines. What lines can we use? Maybe d-file another time? You need start from bishop b4 because it's a provocation. White pawn needs go to c3 and after that you have a target. It's a d3 pawn. We go out by our bishop, it's not a problem, but after that we start to attack this thing. So let's trade off our bishops because this protect this. If we get rid of the pair of bishop, it will be more easier to aim. But how? Queen e2 responds white, and we need a third question. Maybe we have a tactic? To be honest, we calculate this every move, but now we really have a tactic. So let's calculate. Why? Because we have a tactic target. The white queen stays after our rook. It's a very scary for the white. So we need opener files, of course. So sacrifice the knight. Knight on d4. It's a fork or double attack. I confuse this term every time. It's okay. Takes. And after that, we return our piece back in this pin. But our pieces start to play very active, and our bishop from f8 can take this pawn. Now we have an extra pawn and beautiful position. I hope you remember these questions very well, but we repeat it one more time. Let's return to the beginning of the game and pretend that you don't know the opening theory at all, so you can't find the sacrifice of the knight on e4 and make something obvious, for example, bishop to c5. It's a simple way to activate your bishop, and after that the position is totally equal. So short castling, queen activate, d6 to free up the way for our bishop, typical thing for the opening, okay, bishop e3, and that's an interesting moment. Look, somebody teach that doubled pawns, it's very, very bad, so if you takes him, he must take you by the queen. But we know that every piece want to have a line to play. So, the best way for white in this position is taken by the pawn, because here white's rook can play very well. It's a reason, because you need to go back to b6. If he want you, you will happy, because your rook will be open. It's a typical thing. That's the point. Why after our bishop e6, best way for the white, it's go back, it's okay. But now we have the symmetrical position and we need a plan. How we can find it from our first question. Who can help our major pieces like rook in the corner, so nothing special. We go by our queen, after that we stay our rook in the center to help another pieces. Rook e1, maybe one of our piece can push forward to improve his position. Yes, and it's our knight. Go to d4 with work to queen and knight. He can't ignore us, because if he go away, we can destroying pawn structure near the king. So he must takes us, but who? Who from piece I know? If white's knight eat us in this position, after that we will have an extra piece. So it must be bishop. Okay, very strong pawn in the center. Knight b1. And the second question, what lines can we use? Push d5, of course. Pawn trade-off gives us more space and lines, especially e-file for the rook. Let's continue. Takes. Knight d2 to activate it somehow. Okay. Rook d8, of course, with some threats of discovered attack. For example, bishop takes h3 and our rook attacking white queen. So it's very predictable that white want to go back. But now we have a tactic. Our third thing. Maybe we have a tactic, yes. Let's calculate knight e3. In the first side, this move doesn't make sense because white pawn can eat us. But after this capture, we capture it back and our bishop from b6 start attacking white king. We want to take a knight, but if knight go away, we have another discovered attack a2 with winning a queen. You can see, black is completely win. So, the major point of this video is 3 questions who can help you find the right plan. The first question is who can help? The second, what lines can we use? And the third, maybe there is a tactic? So, I hope that after this video you will improve your chess skill. Thank you!